So first off, if you take a look at this, you see the endpoint is specified in full here. You also have the endpoint specified in full here. I just had to use this endpoint to just demonstrate what I'm talking about. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to have to remove the whole of this, and I'll be introducing something called HTTP macros. So this is what it's going to look like. Let me show you. You're going to have so at the end of the day, we're going to have something like this. So instead of having this whole stuff, we're going to have let me call this the name of this API. Okay, let me say this is giving me a post, so I'll call it post API. Then I will have get say slash post. This is what we're going to reduce this to. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to copy this. Alright, so what am I going to do? I'm going to create a macro for this. Now let me show you how to create a macro. So now what you're going to do, because I want this to be useful here, this will reduce to this, and then this will reduce to this. Let me say this is users. Okay, so this is users, so then this would reduce to this. So now let's get this working. Because I want this to be useful in multiple controllers, the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to register this in service provider so that it could be called when the application is booted. So so I'm going to create a provider class for this. I just put it in app service provider. So here I'll just call, let me say, register HTTP macros. So over here I'm going to just we'll call this function register HTTP macros. Alright, this is going to be a private function. Sorry about that. I want it to use somewhere else. No parameter is taken in, nothing is returned. Alright, so how does this work? So I'm going to call the HTTP method now. HTTP, let me just call this macro. I'm going to call this, the name of the macro is post API. Now function, then return. Okay, so let me just call this class, make sure it's importing the right one. Yeah, if it's that. So here we return. So we're going to have with headers, content type, this, with token, this, and that's all. Okay, now I have to set the base URL to this. Alright, so even at this is still very risky. So I think I should write a test so that we could have some of these things working the way they should. So let me just write a test, PHP artisan make test. Let me call this API test. Okay, just call it API test. Alright, so over here in feature test, API test. Okay, so I need to call the controller. Let me just call this API test. Okay, so I need to create a route. Let me just do that here. See the move forward. See move all this stuff. Route get. Okay, let me just call this. So I want to create this I need to change the name of this controller. I think I was using this for something else. So let's say we have this, we have this. Okay, this is not index, this is store. Alright. Okay, now I need to give it a name. Let me just call this blog.store. Let me just call this post.user.show. Alright, good. So if I come over here now, for my API test, I just need to call this post a user. Okay, let me just call blog.store. And just ascertain that the response is, this is test. This can get posts. Okay, so I just have to run this test. Right, it worked. Okay, so just to let you know that this actually works. Say I make an error here, just do something like this. See, there's an error, failed. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we could dump the response just to make sure that we are getting something valid. So we're testing our other method. Okay, so let's just run the two tests and see what happens. Okay, one failed, undefined. So post.users show post.users. Okay, so let's do this again. One failed, required one parameter, and I didn't pass in. So let's do this. Let's do this ID. So I need to update this file to contain the parameter. Good. So we've registered HTTP macros, we've returned this, and in block controller we have this that's giving us our response. So I could take this out right now and everything's gonna work the same way. Just do this real output. So let me just do response get content. And just dump this stuff. Okay, just come over here and do the return here and do return here. Alright, so in my test I could see that we have some response here, so I'm going to assert some keys are present. Okay, just so you are aware of what's going on, let me push this also here down. Then over here I'm going to set status. I'm also going to set key. So I'm expecting some keys. I'm expecting title. I'm expecting content. I think let's stop here. Alright. Okay, so over here we are going to assert that the response is 200, expected keys this and that. So over here we're still going to dump this. Yeah, first name, we have ID, first name, last name, email, birthday. I think we just take a few of that. Let me just copy this then change the contents. You have first name, we have last name, we have email. So this is just like a basic example, just to drive the point home. The two of them. Okay, so now we've written our test. The next thing we're going to do is try to make this better. Alright, the first is we're going to change this. This is very bad. Having this here is very bad. So first off, we're going to remove this and we're going to replace it with an env token. So let's see. Let me call this blog API token. Then come over to our .env file. First of all, I have to put this in an example file so that anytime it happens, any user that is setting it up can easily just pick it up from anywhere. So we're going to go back to .env. Okay, so this blog API token, just paste this there. So we've done that. The next is that this base URL is hard coded and we don't want it to be. Okay, so we could leave it. It works actually. We could leave it, but then I think it's always good that you put it in a config file, even this actually, but I don't want to go through that process now. So I'll just cut this and use it too. Where this noise is coming from. Sorry about the noise. Alright, so we have blog API URL, we have this. So let's just test and see if everything works. Too fast. Nice. So having done this, you can see we've replaced our blog controller. We replaced that. We now have something a little bit simpler.